Okay, in the previous discussions we had what is an acid and what is a basic fundamentals. Now we will be seeing about the various theories related to the acid and bases. So first we have Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. Arrhenius theory of acids, bases. And next, protonic concept of acids and bases, which is Bronsted-Lowry theory. Bronsted-Lowry theory of acids and bases. Okay, and next Levy's theory of acids and bases. See, till 7th class foundation, the first two videos which we had the discussion is what is an acid and what is a base. Blindly we have decided that an acid is a substance which is sour in taste and a base is a substance which is bitter in taste. And there are some more points regarding the one which has H plus ions is called as an acid, and the one which is having OH minus ions is called as a base. And based upon again the strengths, ionization factor, basicity, acidity, all these we have. Now there are some developments in acid bases. So there are different theories. Arrhenius theory, which was the first theory to say about what is an acid and what is a base, and later on there are some drawbacks in this theory, and it changed. It was developed by Bronsted-Lowry theory of acids and bases, which we call it as protonic concept of acids and bases. And later on there are also some defects in this theory. Levy's theory of acids and bases was developed. In this also there are some defects, but throughout the chemistry, these all, what are the positives in Arrhenius theory, positives in Bronsted-Lowry theory, and positives in Levy's theory are taken for conservation of acids and bases. Now first of all we will define, first we will go through the Arrhenius theory of acids and bases in this lecture. In this lecture, we will be discussing about what is an acid, what is a base, what is a neutralization reaction. All these terminologies which will fall under Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. Okay, this lecture we totally concentrate on Arrhenius theory. So what is this Arrhenius theory means? Let us see. There are modifications also, but we will go straight away to the what is that? What we are using in Arrhenius theory. There is Arrhenius theory 1 and Arrhenius theory modified. Let me combine those two and give you the standard definition of an acid. An acid is a substance. An acid is a substance that increases the concentration of H plus ions, or there is another definition, or hydronium ions, that is H3O plus. Hydronium ions means H3O plus. Okay, hydronium ions in aqueous solution. first what he stated means an acid is a substance which contains or which increases the concentration of H plus ions when dissolved in water. Later on what he has said means not only the one which is having H plus ions, which can increase the H plus ion concentration also, they are considered as acids, he said. And later on, some substances even they don't have H plus also, they are showing acid nature. Then what he said means they may contain H3O plus ions also. So the latest Arrhenius theory definition is this. What is an acid according to Arrhenius means an acid is a substance that increases the concentration of H plus ions or hydronium ions. What is the symbol of hydronium ion? H3O plus. In aqueous solution is called as an acid. So this is the standard definition of acid according to Arrhenius theory. Okay. Next, what is a base? A base is a substance that increases the concentration of OH minus ions, OH minus ions in their aqueous solutions. In their aqueous solutions. Aqueous means what? Water is the solvent in that. Means dissolved one is what? Water. Okay, so these are the that increases. Okay, this is the modified definition of Arrhenius theory. So what is an acid according to Arrhenius theory means an acid is a substance that increases the concentration of H plus ions or hydronium ions in an aqueous solution is called as an acid. And what is a base? A base is a substance that increases the concentration of OH minus ions in their aqueous solutions. Those are called as base. So what are the examples for acids? Already we know that examples of acids. What are that? HCl, H2SO4, okay, and HNO3. All these are the examples of acids. And what are the examples for bases? NaOH, AOH, MgOH taken twice. All these are the examples of the bases. Okay, so these are the things what you have. And already in the previous class we had a discussion regarding strong acid, strong base, weak acid, weak base. So what is a strong acid there? Which ionizes completely is called as a strong acid, and which ionizes partially is called as a weak acid. Okay, so in the same way here he defined in terms of H plus ion concentrations. So that we will see now. You please make a note of these two definitions and examples. So according to Arrhenius theory of acids and bases, what is a strong acid and what is a weak acid, that we will be having the definitions now. All acids that ionize completely and hence produce produce more concentration of H plus ions are called as strong gases. Example, HN. And what is the weak acid? That also all acids that ionize partially and hence produce less concentration of H plus ions are called as weak acids. Example, CH3COOH. Okay. See, what is a strong acid? According to Arrhenius theory, all acids that ionize completely and hence produce more concentration of H plus ions are called as strong acids. And what are weak acids according to Arrhenius theory? Means all acids that ionize partially and hence produce less concentration of H plus ions are called as weak acids. So in the previous class what we had, what is a strong acid means? An acid is the one which completely ionizes when dissolved in water or in its aqueous solution. Okay, but here what is that? It has to ionize completely and produce more concentration of H plus ions. That is considered as a strong acid according to Arrhenius. You can note down these two definitions. All acids that ionize completely and hence produce more concentration of H plus ions are called as strong acids. And all acids that ionize partially and hence produce less concentration of H plus ions are called as weak acids. Okay. Now, what we will do? Instead of strong acid, I need base. What is a weak base and weak acid? One. So what we will write? All bases that ionize completely and hence produce more concentration of OH minus ions are called as strong bases. Okay, those are called as strong bases, and the example is KOH. So all bases that ionize completely and hence produce more concentration of OH minus ions are called as strong bases according to Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. So according to Arrhenius theory of acids and bases, how you will define strong acid and a strong base means the substance which ionizes completely and produces more concentration of H plus ions, then it is the strong acid. If it produces more concentration of OH minus ions, then it is a strong base. In the same way, weak acid and weak base. All the bases or the acids that ionize partially and hence produce less concentration of H plus ions are called as weak acids, and the bases that ionize partially and hence produce less concentration of OH minus ions are called as weak bases. Okay, these are called as the weak bases. And what is the example for the weak base? Ammonium hydroxide and H4OH. So these are the definitions according to Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. Next we have neutralization. Okay, what is neutralization reaction? How Arrhenius has defined neutralization, that also we will see. Now, what is neutralization? We will see according to Arrhenius theory. So, what he has said means when an acid reacts with a base, they combine and produce salt and water. That is called as neutralization. So, according to Arrhenius theory, neutralization is defined as the reaction between an acid and a base to give salt and water. So this equation you can write here. Acid plus base gives rise to salt and water. So this is the definition according to Arrhenius theory. What is an acid? According to Arrhenius theory, what is a base and what is a neutralization reaction? And also we had the discussion regarding what is a strong acid and what is a strong base. So these are the Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. And we in the next we will have the discussion about limitations of Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. You can note down this. Now we will be discussing about the limitations of Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. What is the major limitation means? It is applicable only to aqueous solutions. So when you dissolve any substance, the media is, the solvent should be water, only water. That is the major drawback. Okay. It is conformed only to the aqueous solutions. So it could not explain the nature of acidic or basic substances in gas phase or any other non-aqueous solutions. That is the major drawback. So first, Arrhenius theory of acids from bases is confined only to aqueous solution. It could not explain the nature of acidic and basic substances in gas phase or in non-aqueous acids and bases is conformed only to aqueous solution, means water as the solvent. It could not explain the nature of acid and basic substances in gas phase or in non-aqueous solutions. That is the major drawback. And what is the tragedy is, Arrhenius theory, he said that there will be H plus ions. But truly now, the 21st century has said very clearly, the chemist has said that there is no portion of H plus ions contribution in an acid. That is, independent existence of H plus ions is not possible. They always form H3O plus ions only in aqueous solutions. This is also the limit. Studies revealed that H plus ions have no independent existence in aqueous solutions. In aqueous solutions, they exist as hydronium ions. They exist as hydronium ions. That is what H3O plus. Okay. Studies revealed that H plus ions have no independent existence in aqueous solution. They exist as hydronium ions. That is the case. And there are some drawbacks. Suppose if you take carbon dioxide, that is acidic in nature, but he is not able to prove, according to Arrhenius, what which contains H plus ions or which gives more H3O plus ions. But CO2 is not giving that at all. But till it is accepted as an acid. Why? Non-metallic oxides when dissolved in water will give acids. So carbon dioxide is a non-metallic oxide. It is having acidic nature, but it could not be explained by Arrhenius theory. And third, next one was sulfur trioxide gases. Sulfur is a non-metal. When non-metallic oxide of the sulfur dissolved in water, it is giving acid. So sulfur trioxide is acidic in nature. But what he is saying, the one which contains only H plus or H3O plus ions. But nothing is there in CO2 or SO3. Okay, but they are having acidic in nature. Okay, CO2. So Arrhenius theory could not explain why these are acidic. And next, there are some more which are even basic also. If you take CaO, calcium oxide, okay, it is a metallic oxide. So metallic oxides are having what in nature? Basic in nature. But why they are having basic in nature means, according to Arrhenius, what a base is a one which has OH minus ions. But CaO is not having OH minus ions. But still CaO is basic in nature. So these are the major drawbacks in Arrhenius theory of acid synthesis. First you note down this two, and next we will write this point. Arrhenius theory could not explain the acidic nature of substances which do not contain hydrogen. For example, non-metallic oxides are generally acidic in nature, but they do not contain H plus ions. CO2, SO3 example. So Arrhenius, according to him, acid is what which has H plus ions or hydrogen in it. But here non-metallic oxides are generally acidic in nature only. CO2, it does not have any hydrogen, is not there, but it is acidic in nature. So these are the drawbacks or limitations, we call them as. Make a note of this, and 3 more points I will write it after this. The next point is what regarding the basis only. Arrhenius theory could not explain for example, metallic oxides generally are generally basic in nature. Example, CaO, MgO. So they don't contain OH minus ions. Okay. But still they are basic. Okay. But they are basic. Why? For that there is no explanation in his Arrhenius theory. Okay. And he also failed to explain about the neutralization concept of what he said. He said that the neutralization reaction means formation of when an acid and a base react, they will form salt and water. But there are some reactions where there is no question of formation of water. For the calcium carbonate formation is an example. Calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide, when it forms calcium carbonate, which is neutral in nature. It is not acid, it is not a base. So Arrhenius theory failed. To explain It's to explain the neutralization reaction that do not involve the formation of water. For example, CaO plus CO gives rise to CaCO3. So CaCO3 is what? It is neutral in nature. It is not acid, not a base. But here water is not forming. Still it is neutral. So why? So these are the limitations of Arrhenius theory. So these are all the topics what we have discussed now. So first, what is an acid, what is a base, what is a strong acid, what is a weak acid, and what is a weak base, weak acid, weak strong base, and what are the different types of acids and bases. And now different theories. In that we have first had a discussion regarding Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. In the next class we will have a discussion about the Bronsted-Lowry theory. If you have any doubts, you can WhatsApp me. Okay. So actually in NCERT 7th class book it is available, but for 8th class in depth up to 10th class level we are teaching this for 7th and 8th class students.